Hello traders, my name is Logan with Funding Talent, and in today's video, we're reviewing one of our new elite account traders. His name is Rayvaughn. You can find him on YouTube at Technical Gods. And Rayvaughn, so just to get started, how about you introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about how you got started trading and where you're from.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Logan, for having me on the channel. So as you said, my name is Rayvaughn. I've been trading for about 5 to 6 years now, currently 25. Started like right after, I would say like a year after high school, so around 18 or 19. And it was the journey of most people, right? So they go on social media and they see these traders, making a lot of money, showing the lifestyle and all that. And that's kind of how I got into it. So I fell in love with it though, like after spending so much time on the charts and realizing the opportunity that was in front of you. I've never been the person that wanted to go like the school route. So, after high school, I just kind of like try to start my own businesses and, figure out my own way. So when I found trading and the possibilities it brought, I just got hooked to it. So I first traded NFP, and I didn't know NFP was a crazy newsie. And I had $1,000 account, just funded it, and I didn't even know how to use lot sizes. So I literally put a one lot thinking it was $1 per pip, and NFP hit, and it's literally just spiking my account back and forth, back and forth. So I'm just seeing like $300 floating back and forth. And luckily I closed out in profit that time, but it was luck, So over that next week, blew the whole account.
So was that a demo or a live account?
No, that was live.
Live. So you started right on a live account.
Yeah, so I seen like traders on social media, and then I figured out MetaTrader 4.
Yeah.
And once I figured that out, I was like, okay, cool. I'll throw $1,000 in it, gone by the end of the week.
Okay. Well, that's a common mistake a lot of traders make. And, you got started young. So that's a fortunate lesson that you learned, and then you could take it into your trading journey for the rest of the time. I mean, you're still here in the markets.
Definitely. So I feel like that happening so quickly showed me the potential of it though, right? So if you can lose money that quick, you can also make money that quick. So that's how I kind of looked at it. So from that time, that started my journey to like mastering the craft.
Okay. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And it's interesting how many traders that have that entrepreneurial mindset get started in the industry just because of that alone. They're looking for businesses to start. They see the potential in trading and they get attracted to it right away, like you and I.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because I feel like normal business models, right? So like, for an example, selling goods or something like that, you still have to deal with a customer. You know what I mean? With trading, it's literally you versus you, which I really liked because I can control myself. I've always been like pretty disciplined. So I feel like, I'll wake up on time. I'll do my plan when it comes to trading, et cetera. But it's not as many external factors, I would say.
Definitely. And it's good that you have a lot of discipline because we know trading requires a lot of that.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So we know all traders have something that helps them get their mind off the market and refresh. So what are some hobbies that you have outside of trading that you think correlate positively to your impact on the markets?
Got you. So for myself, I think having like a creative outlet is definitely huge. So like I also create music. Before I started trading, I actually produced. So I still do that like on the weekend and stuff just to kind of like blow off steam. I love outdoor stuff, so like hiking, paintball, just like anything like adventurous. Yeah.
I mean, that's like the opposite trading, right? You're getting in your head for trading and then out of your head for your hobby. So I think that's really smart.
Yeah, that was a huge thing for me because I feel like when you're going through that phase, especially when you're first trying to learn how to trade, you're like in that grind mode where it's like every single day for hours and hours, you just want to like look at the charts and try to master it and learn how to trade. But I think the best way to do it is to have that balance because your brain will then, be able to perform at its best.
I completely agree. Yeah. So what are some things that inspire you or motivate you the most to keep on going day after day?
Definitely. I think just trying to master the craft, it's just fun to me at this point. I think, figuring out how the markets truly work, how the banks and institutions and all that kind of stuff make their money, and just realizing like you'll never make as much money from, just your money sitting in a bank account than you could do trading it.
Right.
Really, risking 1% per trade. Let's say you take 5 trades a month or something and you make 10%. That's more than you're going to make in a bank probably the whole year. So
that's
just
true.
Like that aspect. And then also like family, right? So I think I've always wanted to create generational wealth for my family and just like be able to provide things that I haven't seen in my family line before, if that makes sense. So just being able to have the freedom to, if you want to hang out with your family, you can take them all on a trip, or, you can help your mom out and, pay off her house or whatever it is. So I think that's definitely motivation as well.
I think that's the best answer I've heard so far to that question. That was a good answer.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So what is your main goal in life or in trading right now, if you don't mind sharing?
Sure. Main goal in life right now is just to be the best version of myself I can. I've been actually working with like a trading coach, psychologist type person as well, just to help with the balance of everything, right? So not only in trading do I want to be my best, but like physically, mentally, and all these aspects, because I feel like the more you have balance, the more you're going to progress in every singular aspect, and you don't have to let one thing go just because you're getting success somewhere else. So just being the best version of myself I can.
That is definitely motivating. I like that goal.
I appreciate it.
So what first led you to find Forex and start trading in these markets?
Yeah, so I'd say, like I said, like the social media, stumbling across the traders and seeing the lifestyle they live. I've never been like a super flashy person, but I think just seeing the aspect of, okay, they can buy a Lamborghini if they wanted to.
Right.
They don't work normal hours and, that kind of stuff. I was just like, okay, I got to check this out. And then also had a friend, his name was Josh, but he showed me how to use MetaTrader. He came over one day and showed me everything. And from that point, like I just took it into my own hands, checked out baby pips, et cetera. So
definitely, that's a lot of people actually started baby pips. I know I did as well too. It's a great starter resource, I think.
Exactly. Yeah.
So when did you join Funding Talent?
I believe like a couple months ago. I'm not exactly sure. What's today? May
26th, I believe.
May 26th. So probably like 2 months ago or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
What account model and account size did you start off with?
I started out with the Elite Challenge, and it was the 100K account.
Okay. Did you have any difficulties adjusting to the challenge model as opposed to your trading prior, or do you think it was a pretty easy transition for you?
It was a pretty easy transition. I won't lie, on the first account, I did end up blowing it just because my trading strategy, and we'll get into it later, I guess, but it's very precise as far as stop loss size and all that. So just getting used to the parameters with the, trading model you guys present, I had to just tweak a couple things, but after that, it was pretty easy.
Okay. That's a great transition. So how about you tell us a little bit about your trading style and your favorite assets to trade?
Awesome. So when I first started trading, I looked at the markets more like in the retail mindset of just like higher highs, higher lows, et cetera. And then as I progressed, I started realizing there's a lot more to the markets than we think.
Definitely.
So now I trade more of like institutional levels, liquidity, order blocks, and things of that sort.
I saw that on your YouTube channel. It seems very interesting. Could you share a little bit of details about those order blocks?
Definitely. So the whole idea behind the order blocks is that banks protect their orders in the market, or at least that's what I'm thinking it means, right? So when we think about these patterns in the market, like bullish engulfings or, bullish, bearish, bullish continuation patterns, we think that the banks are creating the actual patterns, but they're on the wicks, right? The lowest and highest price points is the level they're getting in the market. So we don't know when that's going to happen. We don't know when the wicks are going to be created, but the next best price to get in on would be on the retest of these order block patterns that are created. So they kind of work similar to like supply and demand.
Okay. Very interesting. I haven't heard that yet, actually, that they're getting in on the wicks. Yeah, I've never heard about that, but that's very interesting.
That's cool. A lot of firsts today.
Definitely. So what is your favorite Forex pair to trade, or different asset, commodities, cryptos?
Yeah, so I usually trade EURUSD or like GBP/JPY. Those are my two favorites right now. I'm in California, so I trade like on PST time. So It's a little bit hard. Like I have to wake up around like 4 a.m. every day just to, catch the momentum. So
yeah, I do the same thing in EST.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. I'm trying to get it before the London market open.
Oh, okay, London,
you do. Yeah. That's true. In terms of New York session, it's definitely easier here.
Yeah, for sure.
So what is some traders or people that inspire you and motivate you to keep going?
Ooh, that's a good one. So I'd have to say one of my friends, Duran. So he's a trader as well, but he really inspired me to like look into, more of the institutional style of trading. So I'd say definitely my friend Duran. Then like the big boys, right? So like the billionaires, the Ray Dalios, like all these people, but the ones that can really change the world, you know what I mean? So they're not just in a position where it's like, okay, cool, I make enough to just take care of my bills and my family, but the ones that are like, let's go over here and, we can put $1 million in this foundation to, help this country, or I want to do stuff like that. So I'll say those ones.
I mean, you're coming up with the best answers we've gotten so far. I like that. You don't bring up a lot of like familiar mentor names though, or really courses. So do you think that you taught yourself a lot in terms of your trading style now, or was it developed across learning from other people?
I'll say a mixture. So when I first started, like I said, it was like baby pips. And then I can't remember what course it was, but I took a course back in like 2016. It was just like basic stuff. So like, I don't use any of it anymore, but it was like basic market structure, Fibonacci, and these topics I realized at least don't work for me. They're using indicators, et cetera. I'm playing price action now. So that kind of just started off my outlook in the markets. And then from there, I just kind of like studied YouTube videos, read books, and I just realized the more I had on my chart, the more my insights were clouded. So as I realized that, I just stripped more stuff away, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is what this pattern means. And this is what, you know what I mean? So I just kind of put it together.
Definitely. And I think that highlights an important point, because not every trader is going to trade the same way. For you, you didn't like indicator trading, and you do like price action trading.
Yeah, I think that's huge, because even the people that I've been teaching myself, like, even though I can teach them one way, they still see the market how they want to. So no one, even if we said that, we both trade the institutional levels, we would both still see those levels differently, or the entries differently. So, yeah.
So Rayvaughn, what was the trade that helped you get to that $20,000 in profit that we were talking about your elite account?
Yeah, sure. Let's actually jump into the charts. So I have a EUR USD right now on the hour, or let me see, that was 15. So on the hour time frame. And the move I actually caught it was right in this area. So I caught from around this low right here up to this impulse high area here. So let me just drop a line there, and then we can analyze from the higher time frame. So the first thing I do is always start out with like a top-down analysis. So I start out from like the daily time frame, and I'm just kind of like seeing what happened to the left, right? So we see that we had this impulse low here up to this impulse high, and we broke past this point here. So when this started to reject, right, this bearish candle closes, I started to think we're going to start to retest deeper in this leg of structure. So one of the things I trade now is like missing price ranges with the order blocks. So if we see this breakout candle here, we can see the wick before it closed, or I'm sorry, the wick before it went up to this point here. So what you'll start to notice in the market is like an algorithm. Price is magnetic to fill in areas after breakout candles are formed. So I was waiting for price to kind of fill in this area here. Once it did, we got a pop up, and I was expecting a new higher high to be created, because now we have that higher low point here. So now if we drop to like the H4 time frame, what we can see in this area is that price was maintaining these support levels, right? And these are what I call those order blocks. So if I move this over a little bit and I draw like a rectangle, we have a bullish engulfing here, right? So price made this candlestick closure here, pulls back to this order block area here. All right, we then form another order block in this area right here. So off of this bearish and bullish pattern here, we close another engulfing, we get that retest. So on lower time frames, I'm going to basically keep all of this in mind, right? So you're just building the picture. So as you go deeper and deeper, you still want to remember what the higher time frames were doing. So now what we see on the H1 is that we had this low point that led to a high, and we had a retracement. Once you guys start to see like the order blocks, you'll understand what I mean, where it's like, it's crazy how, you can catch these crazy entries. But you see how this formed a bullish pattern. This is also an order block. So if we highlight this area right here, we can see that price pulled back directly into this previous order block area and then rejected. All right, so then we formed another one in this area here. And this is actually where I took the trade from. It was like one of these candlesticks here. But if I draw a trend line now from this point A to point B, we can see that we had like multiple confirmations. So we had price pulling back to a higher low and then retesting a trend line. And then also, if you notice, once price goes into a bullish impulse like a structure, it should maintain all of the bullish wick lows. So if you notice, all of these wicks continue to close higher than the previous ones. So this is how you can track your trade once you enter at a certain point. But nonetheless, let's go down to like the 1 minute time frame. Let's see if we can go back that far. All right, cool. So I think the trend line moved. Let me just pull it back up to price. So basically what I realized is on every time frame, we do the exact same thing, right? We break structure, we retest, we form order blocks, etc. So if you notice here, we had this low point, this lower high point that led to a lower low here. If we draw this line across, we can see that we broke that level with this push up right here. So once we started retracing, I was looking to the left to find an order block in this leg of structure that could reverse price. So as you can see here, we formed like that bullish engulfing pattern. So if you draw this area out, you can see that price literally comes down, retests it 3 times, and then gives us that last rejection to start that new impulse. So I literally entered on the retest of this level here. So you guys can consider this as like demand as well, but literally entered there and stop loss was like 1.5 pips. That's why I was able to use such a huge lot. But yeah, I took the trade from there and I literally just swung it up. So it ended up going for, I believe, around 60 pips.
Wow, you are not kidding about the patience.
Oh yeah. But see, I'm usually like more of a scalper / intraday, but there was nothing telling me to get out. You know what I mean? Like if I was seeing strong rejections or something, I would have closed the trade early. But all these are order block patterns building a new floor for me to maintain my trade. So after I seen, this pattern close here, I now basically just trailed my stop loss under that level so that I would still close out in profit if I got stopped out. But until the market actually gave me a reason to get out, I made sure I stayed in the market. So yeah, I just caught this whole leg in structure right here.
Wow, that is a really good trade. What's the total risk to reward on that?
1 to 49.
Oh my God. Great trade. Like really great trade. I can see that there was no point where this trade was invalidated. So it makes sense you stayed in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then around the change of day, it just started moving really fast.
Exactly. And like once you understand how price truly moves, like the algorithm, right? How I was saying none of the wicks, like the wick lows on these bullish candles were broken. Literally, if you just trailed your stop under the wicks, like of the bullish candles, you could have still held this trade all the way up until, this bullish candle's wick was broken here. And you would have got out at basically the best price before this little retracement happened.
Wow. Thank you for the breakdown.
Yeah, of course.
So if you were put in your position right now, go back 5 years, you're just getting started. What is something that you would tell yourself or a new trader that's getting started right now?
Ooh, that's a good one. I would say focus on psychology. Psychology is going to be that turning point because you can know how to trade. Like it's very easy. Like the concept of trading is very simple. It's like buy low, sell high. And I know it's like cliche to say it, but it's so true. And I think that's what like the order blocks teach you. But like psychology is what's going to break you through, right? Mm-hmm. So in anything you do, if you're trying to get to that next level, it's mental. So you can have these barriers and limits subconsciously about, the amount of money you even think you deserve. So if you're trying to trade huge lots, like 20 lots, 40 lots, you'll sabotage yourself a lot of times and then be like, I knew the trade was going to do this. You know what I mean? So I feel like it's a lot of psychological work you have to do just as far as getting to that next level in trading.
So if you don't mind going a little bit deeper on that, I really like that point. So what do you think causes traders to sabotage themselves when they're trading their own money?
Yeah. I think it's a lot of things. I think it's fear. I think it's greed. So touching on the fear aspect of it, I would say we consider trading in our minds, I would say more like gambling, right? So when we put money in, we're just like, I hope it happens. I hope, we win this trade, when we shouldn't have that mindset at all. We should have a mindset more of probability. And when we're stuck in that gambling mindset, we fear because we feel like we don't know the outcome, when over time, if we do the same thing over and over and we have a proven strategy, the odds are in our favor. So by us fearing, we cause our own demise in a way, where we start taking trades that we shouldn't, we start over trading, we start over leveraging because we want to get back what we lost, etc. And then as far as the greed, I would say that once again, it's like the over leveraging, where we want to capitalize on this one setup or this one move, and this is going to be the one that changes our life.
Right.
It's that whole thing, and it can happen, but a lot of times that's not how it happens. It's like you do the same thing repetitively over and over, and then if you catch a huge trade, cool, but that's not what you're aiming for. You're aiming for that same setup every single day. I would say that, and then of course, like, I'm a big believer in like subconscious work as well. So like, from your childhood and all that, how did people talk to you about money? How did you grow up? You know what I mean? Like respecting.
I 100% know what you mean. Yeah, this is the same thing I talk about all the time.
Yeah, I love talking about this. But yeah, it's a lot more to it than surface level. So I feel like by working on those issues you may have had towards money, or even hearing people talk about, money doesn't grow on trees, or money is the root of all evil. It sounds, once again, cliche, but it's very, very true that your mind processes information and it'll hold it and store it. So if you think something's bad, why would your mind allow you to, continue doing it or continue making it? So if money's bad, why would your mind allow you to continue making more and more? It's just like this weird balance where it's like you say you want more, but you're saying it's a negative thing. So it wouldn't be beneficial for, I guess, your growth.
Right. Yeah. So how do you switch from the gambler mindset to the probability-based mindset? Or at least how did you do it? Got you.
So I feel like I do a lot of intense like work on my psychology. So literally, first off is discipline, right? So to change anything, especially habits, you have to be disciplined with it, at least for, I think it's like 21 days, you have to do it straight or something, just to start like reprogramming yourself.
Yeah. I've heard 21, I've heard 66. It ranges. Yeah.
I'm not sure. I just say keep going until it clicks. But yeah, I would say reprogramming the habit. So in our brain, we have something called like neuroplasticity, right? So by doing a new action over and over, we then program a new response. So basically, like, let's say that when we trade, when we take a position, we automatically start fearing it. Our heart starts racing fast, etc. We have to reprogram that response. So we have to figure out a way to be calm when we're trading now, or, we're still going to get those bad outcomes because we're going to close the trade too early, etc. So number one way I would say is meditation. It just slows you down. And I don't know, have you heard of like the parasympathetic nervous system and all that kind of stuff?
Yes.
Cool. So then, like basically when we're in fight or flight mode, that's when like our heart is beating fast and like we're getting, let's say like shallow breaths because we're breathing faster.
Right.
If we slow that down, right? So take like deep breaths and like try to calm ourselves down. We can't be fearful and calm at the same time, or I would say stressed and calm at the same time. It doesn't go hand in hand. So by us breathing deep and slowing down our heart rate, it actually takes us into a calm mindset where we can actually take in the data that we're seeing in front of us logically rather than so emotionally. Besides that, I would say doing hard stuff outside of trading that you don't want to do. So I hate running. So these last couple of months, I forced myself to like run further than I ever have. So every day I would do this and it would suck and it would hurt, but it trained your mind to get stronger, right? So by doing that hard stuff, next time when it comes to trading, and it's like, I have that decision where, okay, I can use the correct leverage this time. I can set the correct stop loss, or I can just, go against all my rules again and risk the whole account on this trade. You now look back to the other things that you won in your life and you're like, okay, well, I took on this run. I took on, lifting heavier. I took on whatever it is. Now in your trading, you feel that confidence and integrity to trust yourself more. So yeah.
Got it. So you're building that mental fortitude in and out of trading. So then when you're at the desk and looking at the charts, you can make the right decision consistently.
Exactly. Yeah. Hit it on the nail.
So do you think that when it comes to shifting to a probability-based mindset, some of that could be aided by back testing or forward testing a strategy to get numbers, like hard data behind it?
I think it depends on personality, right? Because we all build confidence in different ways. Like for me, data was never my big thing. Like I'm not the type of person that wants to keep track of everything. Like to me, it's just kind of like annoying.
Right.
But other people see that and they're just like, okay, the data says this, cool. I trust my process. For me, it was literally more of like being literally just studying the charts, seeing the movements and seeing like patterns that I see repeat over and over. And basically on my channel, I'll call it like the algorithm of the markets. But I started realizing these little patterns and algorithms in the market that allow you to kind of predict what's going to happen next. And I know it sounds bad, like they say not to predict the market, but I don't mean it in the aspect of where I'm saying like, oh, it's going to shoot up from here to, 300 pips. I mean more of, okay, this candlestick pattern or order block closed. So this is what has to potentially happen next in order to fill this price range in or that kind of thing.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. Cool. Well, I think this was fantastic. Do you have anything else that you want to mention before we wrap it up?
I would just say once again, like if you guys are trying to pass this challenge, relax. It isn't a rush. I think like once you gain the skill set and the knowledge and have the psychology there, it's easy. You know what I mean? It's going to simply be doing the same thing over and over. So don't rush it. Just take the time to truly learn how the market moves, how the market works, and how you yourself work.
I love that. And I love this interview. You gave some fantastic answers. So I recommend anybody to go back and watch this because I know I will. So
I appreciate that.
Of course. And you guys should check out his channel as well. We're going to leave the link in the bio, Technical Gods, as you can see by his shirt.
Yeah,
absolutely. So as always, on behalf of everyone at Funding Talent, happy trading.